What's going on, guys? It is the first episode of season 2. Are we excited? Are we fired up? I mean, I don't know. I'm kind of fired up because, at the end of the day, I didn't know how I'm going to bring everything, keep everything just kind of lined up the way it was, but I'm extremely excited to have our special guest, my boy Reuben. Say what's up, man.
What's up, dude? How's everything going, man?
Dude, it's been crazy. Life's been nuts, but we're making it, right? We as men, we got to keep going, right? We keep chugging
We
along.
keep going. We keep going, dude. We absolutely keep going. I
Yeah,
appreciate
dude.
you having me on, man. I'm excited. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, absolutely. I want to give the audience just give a background. Just tell me, I know obviously we've been boys for like a year and a half, ever since we both moved here in Charlotte. Just give me a little rundown. Tell me what you do.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so I live in Charlotte, North Carolina, but the main thing that I do right now is I create content. I am building a personal brand. For the last year and a half ish, I've been just trying to put out as much content as possible, sort of like find my lane in the content creation space and find a way to actually make a living off of it and make a good living off of it. And that comes with a lot of things. There's been so many ups and downs, and I feel like I'm in a really good swing of momentum right now. So it's probably good timing for me to be on. If you had asked me to do this like 3 months ago, I'd have been like, "It's bad, bro. I don't think you want to hear this."
I hear that. 3 months ago for me would have been no bueno, dude.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Exactly. But yeah, dude. So I do content. I come from a sales background. I did like software sales for a short amount of time just to get into medical device sales. And I went through medical device sales for about 4.5 years. And through that process, I was hating my life. And, I think that's usually a pretty good motivator. I was like sitting in a hospital just wondering like, how can I start making money online? And that started like a 5 year, probably like a 5-6 year journey now to figuring out my lane. And I've had so many failed attempts at trying to be successful online. And it's just I'm playing the game. That's really it.
Yeah, no, I get it. I mean, I'm in a similar boat with you, so I definitely get it. But dude, talk to me about like just your upbringing and obviously you told me about like how you got into sales and everything and kind of got you motivated, but like was there anything prior to that kind of you were in your brain like, hey, like maybe I want to do that. I kind of want to dive into your brain a little more on like what got you into content.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. Yeah, I'm thinking of so many things right now. I think so growing up, my dad always worked for himself. Like he was like a federal court monitor and a lawyer. So he wasn't in any sort of creative space really. But I always saw him work for himself, and he always told me like, you got to try to figure out how to help people, figure out a lane where you're able to help people, but where you get to dictate your own schedule and make a lot of money. And he told me that since I was like, probably like younger than 10 years old. I don't know what you're talking about, dude. I'm hanging out eating M&Ms.
I'm just a child, man.
I'm a child. But then on the other side of that, my brother, who was a huge inspiration to me, was a filmmaker, and he worked in Hollywood. He was on camera crews in Hollywood his whole life. So he was always putting me on camera as a kid. Like I was skateboarding on camera, like, just whatever I was messing around doing, or like playing basketball. He was always trying to film something. So I was just always around creativity with him, and then like my dad's independence and go chase your thing and do it on your own, figure it out, kind of screw everyone else. If you can find your lane and make it happen, like do it. So it was kind of always just baked into my brain, like that's how you do it. And then my brother's always just creating movies and stuff. So he got me, they got me a camcorder when I was in middle school. And then me and my friends would go film each other skating too. So it was just we were always like, I never even think about this. It's funny it's coming out right now, but like we always would like film each other on staircases and like skating at the skate park. And we would I was like surfing in California growing up. I have like footage of that somewhere. And anyway, so it was just there was always like a camera around. And then me and my buddy, we created a YouTube channel in like 2016. It was like the first time I was like, let's just do it. Let's get kind of ballsy here. We went to the gym. We got a camera, like a Canon. It was like the best one you could get, at least that we could afford.
What was
My
your
gosh,
username?
dude. I don't even want to get
Tell
into
me
it.
the username, dude.
It was, I don't know if he wants it out there, to be honest, dude.
No, okay. All right, keep it silent.
But we had a fitness channel, and we put out like a video probably like every week. And it was in 2016 when YouTube was like, it wasn't brand new, but it was like, wait, this can actually be. It was when everyone was starting to realize like you can actually make a career
Right.
out of this. It was like Logan Paul hadn't made his YouTube channel yet, and we were like, hey, like there's definitely something here. We're watching Christian Guzman like build the beginning
Yes.
of Alpha Elite, and it was just like those type of people, like in the fitness space, those type of people were our inspiration. Not
Mhm.
necessarily, not Logan Paul, but like the Christian Guzmans. Anyway, so yeah, dude, we created a YouTube channel, and we were filming, and that kind of fizzled out because I went back to school. But like, just it's always been like, go figure it out on your own, and filmmaking was kind of always in there. And so I don't know, I just kind of always knew that I would come back to it after I started that
Mhm.
YouTube channel.
Yeah, okay. That makes sense. That's awesome, dude. I mean, dude, that's funny you say that. I didn't have a camcorder or anything like that, but I had a similar experience with like inspiration of certain people, like, CT Fletcher is, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Dude,
I remember those,
like,
dude, his tricep gauntlets, like with the dumbbells. Yeah, absolutely.
yeah, dude, I would literally listen to it like in the gym, and I was sitting there like, I'm 6'2", like 170 pounds, like soaking wet.
Soaking wet.
Dude, I was a skinny dude, man.
Yeah,
I couldn't put on weight. I couldn't do anything.
same.
Like, it was a struggle, and, I remember one time, somebody that was, important to me basically said, like, "Oh, like, you're not big enough to protect me," or whatever, and I was like, "Man, that's stuck with me." And
It was the
yeah,
victim weight. When we were under 200 pounds, we were victim weight. I get it.
dude, yeah. And then now with, with my job and everything, like, I've been walking like, dude, I'm 195 now. And now I'm like, no, I gotta cream back up. But like, I mean, it's not bad. It's
You look
definitely,
good. Face looks lean. It looks good,
hey,
dude.
I'm trying, dude. I'm trying. I'm doing my best. But yeah, dude, but obviously that's awesome that, that you kind of had already those implements in place to get you where you are today. Now, walk me through just basically when you were in the medical field and the sales. Obviously, there's good money in it. There's a lot of benefits. A lot of people are very good at it, and I'm sure you were very good at it. But what get me through like specifics, like what were you saying in your head like I need to do something different?
Yeah, I mean, for a little context, I was an orthopedic trauma rep. So for
Okay.
2.5 years. And so that means that like whenever a bone in the body breaks, that's not your ribs or something in your head and face or your spine, we would be, if the doctor used our stuff, we were there on call pretty much 24/7.
Mhm.
So it was one of the most extreme sectors of medical sales I could have been in. So that played a part into my discomfort heavily. But what I was doing was I was grinding for the first, like, I mean, for a long time, but for the first 6 months, I was questioning like, how am I surviving right now? I was at the hospital some nights until like 2 in the morning. And other
Wow.
times I'm getting up and leaving dinner. Like I lived with a ex-girlfriend at the time for part of it. And I remember multiple times, like she would cook us dinner and then I would literally have to get up. I would get a call and I would get up as she put the food on the table and be like, I gotta go. Can't eat with you. I'm so sorry. And then I'd come
Jeez.
back like 2 hours later, 3 hours later and eat, have to microwave it. So it was really being forced into a place of such extreme discomfort. And then I found this guy he was making YouTube videos about it wasn't drop shipping, but it was starting like an Amazon business, like an
Mhm.
FBA business. And so that was like my first real attempt where I was like, okay, I'm going to pour some money into this. Cause like you said, like the money was decent. I was 25 years old, like making decent money. And like, so I'm like, okay, I save a lot of money. I'm going to dump some money into this because this might be my out. I remember like so specifically sitting in this room of a hospital and like watching this guy's YouTube videos, just waiting. I was kind of waiting for something to happen. Like people were going to come in and look at the instruments I had anyway. And I'm like, you know what? I just decided right there. I was like, I have to do something different and
Mhm.
this might be it. Let's do it. And so I started it and I went all the way with it and it completely failed, but I still did it.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
so anyway, but yeah, dude, the medical sales was it was crazy, dude.
It was a
Sorry, did you
mental
ask something? Yeah. Did you ask
Yeah,
something
like
specific about it? I'm sorry.
yeah, so, like, I guess, like, was there a specific, like, moment like, I know you kinda talk about you were, like, sitting in the hospital, like, thinking about it. Like, where everyone has that moment, right, where you kinda whatever it is, you sit there and you're like, "Alright, I gotta change this."
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
mean, what was that moment?
That was definitely, well, that was kind of, it all led to that. But another moment was, and I talked to my former boss about this a lot because we were at the hospital together, probably like 2 months into me starting. But I remember we were doing like I think three hip surgeries in a row. And during the third hip surgery, somebody comes in, a nurse like walks in and she like whispers to the surgeon something about an open ankle. And anytime anybody says open anything, you know you're about to be there for a lot longer. And it was during COVID too. So the whole process was just drawn out and way longer. But basically, somebody was doing wheelies on a motorcycle, fell, cracked their ankle open, and since it was an open fracture, meaning the bone popped out of the freaking skin, they had to get operated on that night. So right away, and I have a photo too I can send you where me and the surgeon are sleeping next to each other. I'm in a chair and he's on the couch, and we're just sleeping at like 12 in the morning, 1 in the morning, waiting for the patient to get cleared so that we can go do surgery. But when I was setting up for that ankle, so it was our fourth surgery of the night. But when I was setting up, bringing all the like implants and instruments into the room, that was my moment. Or I was walking down the hall and I can remember like the pattern of the hallway as my feet were like going one in front of the other. And I was like, I can't believe I signed up for this. Like, holy crap, what am I doing? And I was only a
Mm,
few months in. So I was in deep crap at that moment. I was like, oh wow,
only
I
a
gotta
few
figure
months.
something out. Yeah.
So you went through, like, 4 years of, like, "Alright, how do I" you know
Yeah.
now
I
take
went
me
through
through the point.
2.5 years of that extreme life.
Okay,
And then
okay.
I got another job in a different sort of like field in medical sales where I was doing
Mhm.
wound care, which was way better. I was making way more money and I was also having a way better schedule. So, yeah, things got a lot better after that 2.5 year mark. And then I did that for about 2 years.
Okay,
So,
okay. Yeah, it was a little bit easier, but you're still on the medical field thing,
yeah, and I was
and
sort of in
everything.
golden handcuffs, dude, right? Because like I knew I wanted to be doing my own thing. I knew I wanted to live somewhere other than my hometown, but I was stuck in my hometown, sort of like in those golden handcuffs, making good money and having a fairly cushy job. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's most people's dreams, right? Like, you got it made, you got everything, you didn't have to go anywhere, you could people, you have the quote unquote "the golden job," I mean, making good money. Now, what chose you to go to Charlotte and do it?
It was, so I got laid off from that great job. And
Okay.
at that moment I was like, okay, this is kind of my sign. Like this is my sign that it's time to go. So
Mhm.
I got laid off from that job and I had other opportunities in my home state of Arizona. And I was like, okay, I can stay here. I can take this other job that would pay me even more and blah, blah. But I just knew I had to get out. So I had a list of probably 4 or 5 cities. And my brother, who the filmmaker, he convinced me to come and visit Charlotte because I wouldn't shut up about it. And when I got here, yeah, man, the people were, it was really the people, like the people that I met I took a solo trip. I came here and just stayed in an Airbnb, and the people I met when I would go out and eat at restaurants or go out drinking, like people were so kind and so nice. I'm just on the West Coast in general, like it is just not the same. But
Mm.
yeah, the people here when I came and visited were so nice, so kind, and this group took me in at Workman's friend
Workman's. Shout
at
out
Workman's,
Workman's.
and dude, they took me in and they invited me to get in their Uber, and then we went down to South End and we just like drank all night and had a good time. And I was like, man, the people here are just like super friendly, and like that was a crazy move on their part. I told them I wasn't from here and that I could have been anybody,
Yeah.
and they were just super nice. And so I just was like, okay, the people are great. I had a great time. I really enjoyed Plaza Midwood where I live, and so I'm just like I'm ready to go. 2 months later, I moved.
Yeah. No, I get it. No, I agree. I could totally agree to that. I
Yeah,
had a similar experience. Like, I wanted to expand like my brand and everything to come down, and I would visit here multiple times. And I'm like, I got to do it. I got to do it. So I'm definitely on the same boat. Everyone's honestly awesome. Like, this is
yeah, there are a
what
lot of great people.
this is number one growing city in the country, I believe.
I think I heard that as well. Yeah. Do you think that it's the best place for you as far as growth, like individual and like brand growth?
I think personal growth, 1000%, and brand growth at the same time. I think I got more personal growth out of it than my brand, just because, I mean, when you live in the same, I live in the smaller town, Lynchburg, Virginia, right? And it's a great, it's a great place. You can raise your family there. It's relatively affordable. It's pretty. Like Virginia's a pretty state, and I have nothing bad to say. But when you kind of have a limit and a cap space on it, when it comes to like just everything. And for me, like it was a great middle ground where I'm like, I'm only 3 hours away. If I need to go, something weird happens, I can either get a flight and be there in an hour, or I can drive up. My brother's in Charleston, so that's a 3 hour drive. So I'm in the middle of everything. And so I love the aspect of having that bigger city life, even though the traffic's horrible. And I was not used to that at all. But at the
Yeah.
same time, it could be worse. I mean, like you said, the people are great. I've met some great people like yourself. I mean, so many people that, a phone call away, like they got your back. So, and barely knowing you, like, I mean, we've kind of relatively moved at a similar time. I think I was just a little bit before you, if I'm correct. I think I moved in July of 24, right? And what did
That's
you
when I
move?
moved. Yeah. July.
So we were about the same. Okay.
Yeah.
Which is ironic, right? And here we are. You just don't know. You don't know what life's going to take you, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, yeah, I would say it was definitely a positive thing with branding too. Like I think, I've had great, interactions, back home. People supported me. I have nothing bad to say. But again, it's like a cap space. If you want to take a brand and take anything that you desire, you have to expand. And I looked at Charlotte like the perfect opportunity. It's a growing city. There's a lot of big fitness, industry around here. I swear there's a freaking gym like opening up like every other month. Am I wrong? Am I crazy?
I can't imagine being a gym owner here right now. I mean, it
Yeah.
seems like a really difficult environment for it, especially God, that new place Carbon just opened, but it seems like every few months everybody gets so excited about a new place, and then everybody flocks to it, which as a customer is understandable, and it's great that there's
Mhm.
competition now because when we first got here,
It
like
wasn't.
it was like I think Core 24 had maybe just opened,
Yeah.
and then QC hadn't opened yet, and it was like Core 24, Fitness Factory, and the Dowd. And
Yeah,
now
the
there are
Y.
so many more options. Yeah, I went to the Dowd. That was my first
Yeah.
gym.
Yep.
And yeah, that was a nightmare in itself. But yeah, yeah,
I
absolutely.
know.
It's a really fit city. I don't I don't know if it's the city for me long term after being here for 2 years.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
talk to me about it. I mean,
I
I hear that.
yeah. I think it was the I think it's been the perfect stepping stone for me. And when I
Mhm.
moved, it was exactly what I needed.
Mhm.
And I've grown a lot since then. And like the main thing is just the main thing that I've developed is just getting comfortable with putting myself out there and just going for it in public, which is a really, really scary thing, especially at
Yes.
first. And it's still scary 2 years later or almost 2 years later. But I think that I want to be in a city where I am around, there are creative people here, there are creators here, but I want to be in a city like a Miami, a New York City, an LA, a San Diego. I want to be in a city where it's like a hub for creators
Mhm.
and where you don't have any option but to do better, but to grow
Mhm.
because everybody's moving at such a high pace. Everyone's operating at such a high frequency, at least as far as the creatives are concerned.
Mhm.
So I'm really, really considering getting out of Charlotte in the next, you know, probably early next year. That's really where my head's at.
Yeah.
And then just being, just so grateful for it because it's been amazing. I met amazing people. I've met you. I've met dozens, maybe not dozens, but a bunch of other friends that I just really enjoy. And the community here is really special. It's really cool. I don't know if it's for me long term,
Yeah,
but we'll
and
see.
that's totally fair. I mean, there's nothing
Yeah.
wrong with that. Everybody has a chapter and everything. I mean,
Yeah.
heck, I'm in the same boat and where I don't know. I mean, it might not, but I won't. when I hear people, "Oh, Charlotte's boring. Oh, it's this and that." Come on now. Like, it's not. It's definitely not. Does it have things that maybe you want or not want? Yeah, for sure. But it is a top growing city and it's
Yeah,
not going
for
to
a
slow
reason.
down anytime. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But I definitely hear you on that. You ever thought about like just keeping a hub there and then traveling?
Yeah, I have. I definitely have. I think, I mean, that comes down to money. Like, in order to do that, I think, especially because my family moved here. So it's like, in order for, like, I would love to do that, to have somewhat of like a home base here and then go and spend, 4 months here, 4 months there, come back here and, do holidays with the family. Like, that'd be great. But I also am in a phase of my life where I like aggressively chase discomfort.
Hmm.
And I think like the most uncomfortable thing I could do is move to like New York City.
Yeah,
It'd
you
be
could.
pretty uncomfortable. Like sell my car, sell half my stuff, and just like move to New
Your
York
rent's
City.
going to triple.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
hey, I mean, if it's your calling, like that's you got to go with it. Like we all have that
Yeah.
sixth sense, right? We have that thought that like like you know, do I do this or that? And then
Yeah.
you gravitate towards it. Like something pulls you towards it. And you just gotta go with that. I mean, I mean myself, like I'll overthink it and think like, "Oh, like what am I thinking about this and that?" It's like, no, like go with your gut, go with your instincts and go for it. If you fail, which I think we all have. If you haven't failed as a human being, you're not human. That's the whole point of this podcast, right? To be
Yeah.
still human, to sit there and go, "Yeah, I failed, I messed up, I did this and that, but guess what? I learned." Because either you win or you learn. I mean, you know, that is how I live on everything I deal with in my life. So if you want to take the jump, take the jump. But I did want to, you know, say like, what was it like posting your first content? Like when you were like, I'm serious about this. Like, walk me through that.
It sucked. I went, I like knew I had been very aware that it was time to do it, and I knew I just had to do it. And I had brought out a tripod in the gym for the first time, and I got like this massive one where I had like clips and I had to do the legs, and it was like so embarrassing trying to undo it. And I remember the biggest dude in the gym at QC actually looking over at me. He worked there. It was
Yeah.
Thor. He looked
Yeah.
over
Yeah.
at me,
Yeah.
and I've never talked to this dude yet. And he looked over at me as I was opening the tripod for the first time, and my heart like sunk into my chest. I was like, I can't believe this guy just looked at me. He probably thinks I'm the biggest a-hole. I can't, like, I am so embarrassed right now. Turns out to be the nicest and like most supportive guy ever. I was
Oh yeah.
totally in
He's
my
super
head.
nice.
So nice. And he's like the best guy. And anyway, so it was moments like that where I just had to like I'd had to keep exposing myself to the hard thing and making myself uncomfortable. But when it came to actually posting that first thing, oh gosh, the video was horrible. It was my first reel I ever really made, and it was so bad, which is fine. It was, of course, it's gonna be bad. And I went and I removed, I think, like 4 or 5 people. I don't think I blocked them, but I removed them from my followers because I was like, I don't. We all, when we're about to post, we all have at least like 1 to 5 people come immediately to mind where we're like, oh, I know when I post this, they're going to have an opinion. At least you think they
Yeah.
are. You could be wrong.
Yeah.
But those people came to my head. I removed them from my followers, maybe blocked them. And I was like, okay, now I can create this. I spent so much time editing it. It was terrible. It didn't look like I spent so much time. But I remember specifically when I posted the video, and it said posted. I locked my phone and I launched it across the room at my couch, and I just left it. I just went and like ate dinner. I was like, I don't want to look at it. I don't want to see it. And it's like, it's a really good lesson for people who want to start posting content, because you don't have to throw your phone across the room. But what you should do, or what I would recommend, is not paying attention to the results. Like, if you can focus way more on input rather than focusing on the output, things will go so much better for you. If you can try to get over the fear of posting and putting yourself out there as opposed to attaching yourself to the results, things go so much better. And I'm guilty of, like, when things started going well and like I got my first video with 1 million views, I was
Yeah.
over the moon. And most people would be like, well, yeah, you deserve to celebrate that. And sure, I get it. But At the same time, I started to expect that. I started to crave that. I started to get obsessed with virality and then the views and these sort of like vanity metrics. So
Mhm.
if I had just like one piece of advice for someone starting out, just creating content, I would just say, dude, like, don't pay attention to the results, like, not for a while. Just
Yeah.
do as much as you possibly can and try to get people to really know you and create community as opposed to like just trying to get something to go viral. Like, focus on connecting with human beings. And if somebody really messes with you, if somebody really likes you and they follow you, like, show them gratitude, appreciate them, send them a DM, dude, especially at first. Like, people aren't going to get that many followers. Like, send someone a voice note and be like, hey, John, I'm so grateful that you're here, dude. Like, if there's anything that you think I should post and if you have any recommendations, let me know. I did that to like 2,000 people probably when I was first starting. Or, something like it was a lot. My best friend was visiting one day, and all I was doing all day was like sending voice memos to people. And stuff like that just goes a long way. And like the community and like actually building a thing, a platform where people know you, like you, and trust you, I think
Mhm.
is the answer rather than I'm just going to try to go viral because that got me in trouble.
Yeah. You wanna dive in on that? Well,
Sure. I mean, yeah, once I kind of got away from the principles that I'm explaining where, doing things the right way, and then I started focusing more on how do I get as many views as possible? And the reason that gets you in trouble is because if you don't do it right, you're going to build followers that only expect one thing. That was another issue is I was only posting really one type of content because I knew it
mhm.
was doing so well. And
Mhm.
instead of doing like an 80-20 split where I would do like 80% that and then 20% experimenting and more talking head videos, I did 100% the thing that I knew would get views. So that got me in trouble in the sense of if I didn't post that, the people that chose to follow me just would ignore it. They would be like,
Mhm.
"Oh, yeah, I don't think I have anything to gain from this. That's not what
Mhm.
I followed you for," which is understandable. That's my fault. Like I pigeonholed myself. I turned myself into a one trick pony. So you create what's called ghost followers that way, and then
Mhm.
especially if you switch a niche, if you go from fitness to now I post a lot of like talking head stuff, and I post a lot of stuff about what I'm trying to do in the business space like you're almost starting over. So in a lot of ways, I feel like I'm starting over. But it really boiled down to I was focusing on views and trying to go viral too much, as opposed to like really providing value that was my own insight and my own learning. Like I'm really just documenting a learning process right now, which
Mhm.
I'm such a fan of doing. Yeah.
I got a question. Which one was harder? In the beginning of throwing that post out in the beginning or transitioning, like, to go, "Hey, I wanna fit this," like, change the niche up?
That's a really good question. I mean, dude, both were really hard in their own ways. The initial posting was like, I felt like I was standing in a stadium naked. Like it was
Mhm.
so scary and so
That's a good
vulnerable.
analogy.
I think on the other side, though, it might be harder to my perception, and I've talked to people about this, like that I'm close with, but like my perception, I have a couple of followers now, and it's like I think that there comes an expectation with that, like, oh, if this guy has that many followers, he must get this many views, he must get this much engagement. And when you transition and you kind of switch the type of content you're doing, your engagement's going to plummet. And
Mhm.
so it is really hard sometimes. I have good days and bad days with it, but it is really hard sometimes to be like, I have to detach myself from the outcome and be like, if these followers aren't there for me in this new journey and this new documentation process that I'm building, it's like that's okay. I understand if people unfollow me. Like I genuinely, I would rather the people who aren't interested in what I'm doing now unfollow and without any malice or any hard feelings. I completely get it. I've unfollowed people for the same reason. It's totally fine. But I would rather someone unfollow me than like stick around for the new stuff if they're not interested in that. So it's they both present their own challenges in very unique ways. And yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it sucks right now. Like sometimes it really sucks. Like I'm very proud of the amount of input I have, but not being able to just hit record and talk to my people that I spent so much time and worked so hard to build, it does hurt. It does sting for them, for most of my followers to not see the stuff that I post now. I would like for
Mhm.
them to at least be able to make an informed decision and say, I'm with this or I'm not. But the platform doesn't really show, the new stuff that I post to my followers. So that's
Mhm.
its own challenge.
Yeah. No, I get it. I definitely get it. Like, I had to reboot like a lot of things. So like, I guess I'm kind of sitting there thinking like, I'm trying to pick your brain right now because I'm sitting here like, okay, like you do it way more than I do. And shoot, I have my own company. I gotta sit there and run and okay. So, you know, it's good advice for people to sit there and go, okay, that maybe I'm stuck in that situation. I think there's a lot more people, Reuben, that have that situation more than you realize. And to just be okay with that, that's a great headspace to be in, right?
Yeah.
I can learn from that. I think that's what's great. Like we can always learn from each other, good,
Yeah.
bad, or indifferent. You have things that, that it's just an awesome thing to see. And I think that you're going to be fine. You're going to be just as a friend of yours, like you're going to be great. Cause one thing that you are very good in, you're consistent. And that's the hard, I think having the fear of it and then being consistent are the two main things that you need to have of this. And obviously you got to post the right content and, but you also don't want to feel like you have to be perfect either. My problem was when I first started was I didn't care about like throwing it out there. I was just trying to be perfect. Like
Hmm.
every little post, like I had to edit it right. Oh, the caption had to be good. Had to be this, had to be that. Sometimes you don't have to do it. Not everybody needs to see that. Like you just got to be
Yeah.
consistent with it and not stress yourself out. So I definitely got it. I definitely get that. On your new way of life of, the content that you're posting,
Yeah.
just give us a rundown of what you're doing and like your goal.
Yeah. Well, so even through all the content that I used to make, I would have brands reaching out. I've worked with, probably close to 10 brands on either recurring or not recurring, and it was always sort of a shaky model where like I would post content to my followers and they would I think posting sponsored posts can get really old for your
Mhm,
followers. So now I don't really love doing that. And once I
mhm,
discovered what's called UGC content, which is user generated content, once I discovered that, I was kind of enamored. I was like, crap, what is this? And so once I went down this rabbit hole of discovering UGC, I became kind of obsessed, and that's where I'm at right now. I'm obsessed with UGC completely. And basically, the premise is you do make ads for companies. You make an ad just like any ad that you see when you're scrolling on your social feed. If you see an ad for, say, like Squid Hoss, you see an ad for Gymshark, Alpha Elite, whatever brands you're interested in, they will find you, as we know. But but those meta ads, they'll find you. But
Yeah,
the point is when you submit ads to companies, they will run them as ads and you never have to post them to your own audience. So I love that because you have an opportunity to make money from the ads, but you also have an opportunity to continue building your personal brand without sort of harming your trust, right? Without boring your followers. That was like
mm,
really, really appealing to me.
mm.
And then I follow this guy named Lucas Pachter who started Squid Hoss. Have you heard of this guy, Lucas Pachter?
No, elaborate.
Dude, he's awesome. So he started. Have you heard of Squid Hoss? Or I guess now it's called Hoss. It's a gym clothing brand.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
I have some stuff from 'em.
there you go. So he started that company, but he also started another company, a software company that has an app, and it's called Tribe. And on Tribe, it basically is the middleman between brands and creators. You guys both meet there, and you, as a creator, apply to work with brands. And if they accept you, then you get to make ads for them that they'll go and run as meta ads on Instagram and Facebook. And if that ad leads to sales, you get a percentage of the commission. You get commission on it. So it's kind of a game changer. It's literally like TikTok Shop for meta ads, but you don't have to post the videos to your audience like you do on TikTok. So I,
Right,
because I think people do it, but I think it's a lot harder to build a personal brand while you're constantly promoting products. It's like you're
right.
always just trying to sell something, and it's like you just keep diminishing the level of trust that you have with your audience every time you're pushing out. Like on TikTok, you're pushing out like a vacuum, a pair of scissors. It's like whatever you're doing. It's like could be the most random thing. But anyway, I love this because you only have to work with brands that you truly align with. So I went and I got accepted by two brands on Tribe, and both brands sent me clothes. And I started making ads for them right away, but I also keep making organic content about Tribe because I'm just like genuinely passionate about it. And then Tribe and Lucas Pachter reached out to me and they were like, "Hey, do you want to make ads for the app Tribe?" So now I'm making ads not only for these two clothing brands, but I'm actually making ads for Tribe to get more people on it. And this isn't me trying to sell it to anyone here. I'm just
No, you're good.
genuinely so passionate about it. And like, it's a great opportunity. And it's something that if you are a creator and you have struggled with a way to make money and you are willing to learn how to make ads, it is, I think it is possibly the next wave of kind of like the next online gold rush, honestly, that not a
Yeah.
lot of people are on right now. And, the app is still pretty new. So there's just a huge opportunity. And dude, I made my first dollars on Tribe today.
But you want to tell us how
Yeah,
much you
it
get?
was like I think I've made $8 today. But dude, I
Let's
still made money
go.
on Tribe, dude.
Eight
Dude, yeah,
dollars, man. You can get yourself something from the Circle K.
that's right, dude. Something
Yes,
from the Circle
sir.
K.
Hey, but it's a start. That's a start. So just think about the monopoly of that. I mean, yeah, absolutely. I think that's fantastic. Like I've seen it. I've seen what you post, and to be honest, I got super crazy busy, so like I kind of didn't get to really jump in on it. But like I really like for me just to listen to that, I'm like, okay, like as somebody who owns his own brand, like I might want to
Right.
use that, and I want to,
For
you
sure.
know, I mean, I think
For
that
sure.
would be helping a lot of people because how many times, like, if you sit there and you're making X, Y, and Z videos and you have a good transition and everything, and then you go, oh, here's this ad, and then like everyone's like, oh, like it's kind of like that type of feeling. So I think that's honestly like one of the best things that they could have done. So
Dude,
that's awesome.
but part of the beauty of it is that it's so great not only for creators, but it's so great for brands. Because
Hmm.
one of the issues, and I know you've probably dealt with this in building your own clothing company in the past. It's when you want to get influencers or people to go out and wear your clothes and make videos about it. It costs a lot of money. Like influencer marketing is not cheap to go and get the right people. But when you switch to a rev share model where you're just giving them a percentage of the sales, you're saying, I'm not going to really pay you anything up front. I'll send you some clothes, but you're going to
Yeah,
make
that's
ads for me. I'm not going to pay you for it. But if you make good ads, I'll give you
mhm.
10% of whatever we sell. Then everybody wins, dude. Everybody eats at that point.
Yeah. Yeah, because 'cause they're gonna wanna, put their best effort into it, and it's really not much overhead for you, like, as the company, right? And, "Hey, I'm gonna give you this, I'm gonna send you some clothes," well, or
Yeah,
whatever, and then
totally.
yeah, and if it does well, like, everybody wins. You get a percentage, and it could be a simple ad, it could be it's crazy how everything can go viral. Like, you could make a quick ad that probably took you 10 minutes, and you're like, "This shot off, and, like, I'm making X, Y, and
Totally.
Z." And then if you're doing it for a
Some
bunch of
dude,
companies.
some of the ads I've seen, yeah, that have popped off are like, I can't believe this popped. I mean, like I can see why it worked, but the effort level was so minimal. But some creators are just so great at creating. Like I aspire to be able to just turn my camera on and have
Mhm.
like an amazing hook and a rehook and retention rate and a great CTA. It's like people just are really really good at creating.
What do you think the what would be the word? Just the one-on-one, the formula of it. Like, if you had to, like, give good advice for that, like, what would you tell people? Like,
If
what's
they
the
want to
biggest
get
thing?
into UGC,
Oh, yeah, and just yeah, in general.
I would say do everything you possibly can to get on Tribe. Like it's free to download. I would genuinely be like start there. Like start
Mhm.
there so that you don't have to worry about posting on TikTok because you don't have to get over the fear of posting like you do on TikTok for
Right.
like TikTok Shop. And I think you have to have like 1,000 followers on TikTok anyway. So like the barrier of entry is real low. The difference, the only like the caveat is that you have to get good at making ads. So
Mhm.
if somebody wants to get into UGC, the first step is to download the app, apply, or basically like just sign up for Tribe. And then if you Google, I think it's Facebook Meta Ads Library. A lot of people
Okay.
don't know this. You can just Google Facebook Meta Ads Library. It'll bring you like the first link. You can go and look at any brand you can think of that's running an ad. All of their ads are public. So you can go and you can literally filter by the top performing ads. Just go. And if you really want to do it, get get crazy, get religious about studying ads. Why? How did he hook me? How did like can I write down the whole script and feed it into AI and tell AI to break down why this worked? Like there's so many ways to study good ads. So if some that would be my first thing is do that and get really passionate about learning ads, then go out and find your favorite product. If you were like my favorite thing is my iPhone, go and make an ad about your iPhone. And then how you apply for brands, how you apply for brands on Tribe is you have to submit, or it helps if you submit a sample. Do it a few times, try to get really good at making an ad about your phone or about these microphones, about your water bottle, whatever it is, something that you really enjoy so that it comes off as genuine. Make a sample video or 3, do your absolute best, make each one better than the last, and study the ones that worked, try to apply the same principles and make really good sample videos. If you're able to make good sample videos and a brand sees it, they're not going to care if you have 100 followers or 500,000 followers. If you can put a
Right.
good ad together, they're going to look at that and they're going to say that person can make me money. They don't care about your followers. That's why this is unbelievable. The barrier to entry is so low. Anybody should go and do that. Focus on studying meta ads, they're public, and then go and try to make really good sample ads for your favorite products that you already have lying around the house, and then submit those when you apply to work with your favorite brands on Tribe.
That's
That's how
cool.
I do it.
Yeah, absolutely. That's cool. Well, Reuben, I got one last question for you. Okay. You had to give one piece of advice to everybody that's watching. What would it be? It doesn't matter. Whatever, like the one thing that sticks in your mind.
Try to, I would say, it's kind of corny, but I would say try superficially judge people less. Try to not judge a book by its cover as often, and not only because it's not a great thing to do, but because it will help you become more confident, because over time it will help you not think that everyone's judging you. If your
Mm-hmm.
first instinct is you walk in a room and you judge everyone around you, or you see someone post something that wasn't that good and you think, oh, that was cringe, your first instinct when you do something like walk in a room or post something is that those people are going to be thinking that about me. And I just think confidence is the most important thing that anyone can have. So if you have a tactical way of being more confident by not being worried about judgment because you're not judging other people, I
Mm-hmm.
think that'd be very helpful.
Excellent. I love it. I love it. I couldn't agree more. I mean, at the end of the day, like just to add to that, you need to just look around and go, what can I be positive first before I'm negative, in a sense, right? Like if I'm meeting somebody or I walk in a room, like what's the first thing I can think of? Not negatively, like not judging, not sitting there going, oh, they're doing this or this or that. I'm like, okay, well, why are they doing that? Okay, well, let's just break it down. And then, you get to know somebody, you get to know things, and they're, like you said, you don't judge a book by its cover. I completely agree. Well, Reuben, this has been an excellent first podcast of season 2.
Hell yeah,
If
dude.
there's anything that, you want to, give a shout out to or anything like that, the floor is yours.
I would say subscribe to
Let it
this
rip.
podcast. I would say subscribe to this podcast. I would say lock in, dude. Lock in with Brian. Push him to be consistent. Push him to keep going. And let's do the same for everybody, dude. Like just push your friends who are going out and doing their thing to like go out and do their thing harder.
Love it. I love it. All right. Well, season 2 of Still Human Podcast is on. See ya.